your honoree today. Oh my goodness. Oh, glory. Yes, no kidding. And she's got her sunglasses off.
Cover up the Montana part there. Oh, glory. So did you like that, Nichol? How I left you hanging there?
Yeah, you know, I am used to being ready for anything with you, my love.
So the purpose in that was, well, I was getting my glasses on and grabbing the license plate, and I didn't want you to see that I was doing that. So I wanted an authentic response. But hey, everybody, welcome back to Purpose by Design. I'm Dr. Pamela, and this is my amazing co-host, Lady Nichol.
Hello.
And this will be explained as we go through what we're doing today, because oh my goodness, the glory of the lineup of people we're going to be discussing, the brightness of what they're doing in the earth, and so just highlighting them. So go ahead and jump on in.
All right, so this is part 3. We started this by doing a show about what was going on with Purpose and Pamela because we have so much going on this year, and we wanted to share all the excitement and highlight what Pamela does, because, you know, it's funny because a lot of people don't know.
Yeah.
They just think, oh, it's Pamela. It's Dr. Pamela, and she mentors, she speaks, she coaches, she helps in publishing. She does so many things. So we decided to highlight it. And as we started show 1, we realized, oh, we need a show 2. And then we realized, you know what? I think we're going to end up with a month of shows. So we're back for show 3. And this show is all about our Purpose Award winners for 2022. First annual Purpose Awards. I'm so excited that this is something that you decided to do. You have so many people that you are connected to, both mentors and people that you mentor. And I love that you are taking your platform and honoring them this way. So I'll let you say a little bit of something about your Purpose Awards and the reason you wanted to do them. And then we'll start with our first honoree.
Woohoo! Well, I'm excited, Nichol, that we actually, stepped out in faith and did this. I had it on my heart that there were just a number of people that I really felt deserved to be highlighted and applauded for extra efforts of what they did in the last year. People they helped, organizations they started, businesses, nonprofits, just a lot of things that, to me, choices made that I wanted to make sure that somebody acknowledged them. And it seemed to flow right hand in glove with who I am and who we are at Purpose with Pamela. So we went for it and created an awards program, which I believe is going to just increase in esteem and honor and value as we continue to do it. So this is our charter group. And to me, that'll always be very special and unique to me, because when I'm involved in something that it's the first or it's the charter, that is always a very special and kind of prestige to be in that beginning stage with somebody. So with that, I'm excited to kind of lift up and shine the light on, put the sunglasses back on and say, oh gosh, it's getting bright in here, as we extend a little honor to those that have been chosen to receive this charter award. So go ahead and take it away.
Yes. And I love, I know that you took a lot of time thinking of what awards you wanted to give and what those meant. So I'm glad that we're taking this time to not just put the pictures out there and share, oh, this person got this award, but that we're taking the time to give a little more of a why behind the award, because I think it makes it a little extra special. So we're going to start off right at the beginning. We have a Community Impact Award, and that goes to our beautiful Deidre Calcoate, and which we love her to death. And so let's just share a little bit about that award and about Miss Deidre.
Oh my goodness. Deidre soon to be Dr. Deidre.
Yes.
So exciting. She embodies the idea and the ideal of impacting community. I just had a messaging communique with her yesterday where she was like, yeah, I was out coaching and doing brain spotting in the community. And then another one where she was like, I was at this group home and there was some tragic stuff going on and she's there helping. This is what she does. I received a little note in the mail from her, but the card was talking about, community and family and just helping people network together. And in this one, it had to do with children and foster care and adoption. I'm telling you, she embodies the idea of networking together and serving a community. And so for her, she serves a vast community. I also have watched her just come to the rescue of her sister. Not that other people wouldn't do that, because I think we would do that, but the extra mile and things that she does is amazing. But beyond that, because she has such a vast knowledge of coming and serving in communities, she really had some forethought and additional ammunition as to how to really come in and lift up her sister and help her through a challenging medical experience, as well as the bringing in the emotional and mental support. Incredible. And, at events, like we just had a book launch, and she was reaching out to me about, getting the book and sharing the book. She came to our event in Vegas and poured so much into our people through brain spotting and group brain spotting, as well as, educating people on it. She's the reason that I became a brain spotting technician or practitioner myself, was because of her impact in my life. So to me, Deidre just blinks and flashes community involvement and empowerment. And to me, there's nobody better to receive that impact award for affecting communities than her. She could teach a whole course on it. There you go, Deidre.
Right.
Create a course and let's build around it. So congratulations, Deidre. Yay! You are amazing. Congratulations, my friend. And if you would like to get in contact with Dr. Deidre and see how you could learn more about impacting your community, or maybe brain spotting, or just getting involved with all that she's doing, her contact information is listed. Thank you. Thanks, Deidre. Thanks, Nichol.
Yes, and I love Deidre. She has such a giving heart. And you mentioned that she was at our Vegas event, and I had the honor of having dinner with her after we were all done and exhausted. And I got to know her a little more one-on-one, because I haven't had, other than professionally, haven't really got to spend any time with her. And just her heart in hearing how she talks about her sister and everything else that she does, she just oozes giving.
All right. So who's next, Nichol?
Okay, so our next award is Servant Leadership. And I have to say something, just a little something myself about this human, Mr. Jon Talarico. I wanted to say, when you were talking about him for this award, I have to say I got to witness his servant leadership. And for those of you, Pamela can kind of explain that a little more. But when we were in Atlanta, when you go to a huge event and, the person that's putting on the event, and it's, 100 people attending an event, to be able to connect with that person that's holding that event. Now, we were part of his team, yes, but it wasn't just us that got to connect with him. We had dinner, we had community. I mean, every time that there wasn't the event going on, he was there. He was getting people chairs. He was making sure people ate. That was his spirit the whole weekend. And yeah. So when you said that, when I saw this servant leadership for Jon, I was like, well, yeah, that makes perfect sense because that's all I saw all weekend was he didn't care if he was sitting. He didn't care if he was eating. And I think to a fault, I'm sure, but he made sure that absolutely every person that was there and wanted to spend time with him was taken care of. And I absolutely love that about somebody that is who some would think is unreachable. And he's very present. And I think that says a lot about his personality and a lot about who he is on the inside. So go ahead and tell us a little bit more about Jon and a little bit more about this award.
Wow. Well, you said some powerful words there, Nichol. Servant leadership is about being present.
Yeah.
It is about putting others first. The scripture calls it preferring others. And it's one thing to have obtained a leadership position, but there's a statement that says that your character will either keep you or break you.
Yeah.
Your gifts will take you there.
Yeah.
Your character will either keep you or break you, is how the statement goes.
Right.
And servant leadership is what sets true leaders apart.
Mm-hmm.
Being that I have served in leadership for over 25 years, albeit a different avenue than Mr. Talarico, I look for and notice servant leaderships.
Right.
People, servant leaders, I'll put it that way,
Yeah,
because
right.
it's so important.
Mm-hmm.
I want to be in the circle with others that operate that way. Right? And you're so right. At the Million in You breakthrough event, Jon was not only this leader in front of everybody, speaking, teaching, and things, right? But he was involved hands-on with all of the attendees and also at those that worked at the event location. So there was constant involvement, whether it was at the event location to like uplift and give praise to people for doing a great job, or if it was to politely redirect or even correct in order to make sure that things were done right. But when he was even doing that, it was out of servant leadership that all that were there, that had paid to be there, that came for the event, were receiving the maximum service that they paid for or expected. To me, that is servant leadership at its the creme de la creme, right? At its very top. And since I met my wonderful coach and very good friend, Jon Talarico, I have seen nothing but that behavior. And he's not inconsistent. And you don't come closer and closer to him. And then you find out that what you were experiencing on the outside circle was a facade.
Right.
It continues as you get closer and closer to him in a business or personal relationship, that this is in really truly who he is.
Right.
And that's the type of leadership that I want to applaud, that I want to interact with, right? And that I want to highlight. And I believe this award could be called the Jon Talarico Award because he has shown it to me personally through the endorsements, through the friendship of just being there and the good times and the not so good times. But also, as I have been able to watch him in business, I have been nothing but just amazed at the integrity of servanthood that he carries with him. So I'm so grateful to be able to award this to you, Mr. Jon Talarico. Yay! Servant leadership fully embodied.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, and yeah, he just shows it every way, shape, or form. It was the first time that I had the pleasure of working with him and for him. And it was a blast. It was so fun. It was, he embodies excitement. He embodies servanthood. I really believe that. And just being able to see even his nerves at certain points, you know, getting ready to speak and just standing backstage with him, that was a blast for me. And just seeing all different sides of him. And he does not try to be something that he's not. And he is a regular person, and he's okay with that. And he's okay hanging with whoever.
Right.
Which is great. And he hangs with some amazing people. And, you know, and your daughter gets crazy about some of the amazing people that he hangs with.
She does.
But he's not above anybody, which I love, you know. So congratulations, Jon. It is very well deserved, Mr.
Woo-hoo!
All right. So tell me a little about the Timothy Award.
Timothy. The Timothy Award. Now that comes from scripture, right? So Timothy was a server, or I don't want to say servant, but he served the vision and the heartbeat, the life of the Apostle Paul through ministry and, well, you know, business. And so he came alongside as there's a biblical term called armor bearer. Which just means to assist. It means to serve and to carry somebody else's vision. The word armor bearer came from the old terminology of the soldier going into battle and could not wear all of his armor and carry his sword and his shield. So something would be carried by the armor bearer, whether it was the armor or it was the sword or the shield. They were risking it all, so to say, to come alongside and be that armor bearer to take care of who they were assigned to. And so Timothy became that to the Apostle Paul. And then, of course, eventually Timothy was launched into his purpose by design of what he was supposed to do. So when I look at a person saying, who gets a Timothy Award, I am looking for someone who runs with another person's vision, and makes it their own, that is willing to come in and serve at whatever capacity is needed and be Paul's Timothy. Now I know that, you know, if we're talking about running with my vision, I'm a gal, but I'm using that just as something for us all to get our eyes and our heart around. So it's Timothy running with Paul's vision, but Paul would not have been able to achieve so much of what he did in the time that he had Timothy if Timothy hadn't been there.
Right.
And in fact, he refers to Timothy as his son and tells people, hey, if I send Timothy, it's as good as me speaking. So there is a lot there with the Timothy Award. I'm glad you asked me to explain it, Nichol.
Yeah,
because it's important for people to understand it.
It is. And especially when it has a unique name. So I am blessed to hold that along with our beautiful Jasbeen. And so thank you for that. And I have counted it an honor. I started this journey with you quite a few years ago. And you and I talked about all of this before it came to be. And I don't think we ever imagined it on this scale or ever. This is not exactly what we saw, but God doesn't give you all of it at once, and there's a reason for that. But I appreciate the honor, and it's honestly just an honor to ride this ride with you. But our beautiful Miss Jasbeen also has received this honor, and you know, she is so she's also I think you're surrounded by giving people. And I think it's because you're so giving. But when she was at the Vegas event with us, our Follow Law event, her Timothy came out, and how well she just flowed with us. She jumped in and kind of rode that weekend with us and was there to do whatever we needed her to do, and as an extra arm of us. So give us just a little bit about the beautiful Jasbeen, please.
Well, I'm going to show you something that she just sent to me in a text.
Okay.
I don't think that she would care that I show.
No, probably not.
All right.
We just got done launching your book.
Yeah. And this is the kind of stuff that she does. It says,
Yeah.
you brought color into my life. So, I mean, she's just always thinking about how she can make you feel better.
Right.
You know, how she can add color to your life.
Right.
And everything I've ever asked her to do as her mentor, she's done it.
Yeah.
She's just been obedient to do it. And that is a big thing about the Timothy Award is Timothy was obedient to Paul. And Paul, of course, said, follow me as I follow him. Right. And so it wasn't that Paul was perfect. It's not that I'm perfect. It's not that any of us are. But as I'm endeavoring to follow here, I'm saying, okay, do follow me and do what I'm telling you to do so that you can follow here. You can do what you're supposed to do. And Jasbeen has been just so faithful to do whatever it is. And I'm not talking about, oh, clean my shoes. I'm just saying the things that I ask her as her mentor to do, she does them, and she does them above and beyond what I've expected, you know, and then has all these additional things that she does. She sees people and sees how to help them. But when she is connected to somebody, she is full on. She is there to run with you, to be in the trenches with you, to be on the stages with you, to highlight you. I mean, we asked her for a testimonial that we could put out there to the world to see because she has been so faithful for so long and has success in what she's doing. Right. And as she came back with not just this little like 2-minute testimonial, she had an acronym for my name and all of that stuff. When we went to Fa-La-La, I had stated that there was a place for us to take pictures so that our photographer, Mandy, who was there, would be taking pictures and we needed a backdrop. Well, Jasbeen says, should I bring my glittery red backdrop or whatever it was? And I was like, well, they're going to have things there, but yeah, sure, go ahead. Okay, not only did she bring her backdrop, she brought her stand to put the backdrop on. And at first I was like, well, she didn't need to do that. That's just taking up all this space in her suitcase. But you know what? We ended up needing both because the other backdrop that the location that the venue had for us ended up not working the way we needed it to. So not only did we end up utilizing her stuff, we also ended up utilizing the other stuff that she brought. She brought lights to decorate each table. I'm telling you, this is the heart of Timothy. It's amazing. And when my family was sick, she's sending me a gift package of fruit. And I'm like, what? Who does that? Timothy does that. And so she has been a huge supporter of Purpose with Pamela, faithful to me as a mentee-mentor relationship, and to come alongside you, Nichol, and assist you like at the event and to be an exception. It's huge, and it's not something we always see in the world. And I think it needs to be highlighted, and lots of noise and bright glasses and all of that. And maybe even I should have put this up before. Oh, glory, you know, say this is so needed in the earth. Thank you, Jasbeen, for who you are. And also for you, Nichol, because you run with my vision. And you, when I ask for something to be done, not only do you do it, but it always looks better than I ever expected. I'm like, wow, okay, wow. We just did our launch and I'm looking at how pretty the backdrop is and all the little graphics with the books and everything that you have on there. I'm like, you know what? You see me. And that's part of what it means to be a Timothy. Timothy would see Paul, really, and not just see the good, the bad, and the ugly, because Timothy sees that, right? So Timothy, you see that, but you see the heart. Right. And when you see the heart of who you're in the trenches with, or who you're following, or who you're being mentored by, or who you just feel like I have been given the vision to run with you, and you are always choosing to see their heart, then it doesn't matter how human they are in the moment, because you see their heart. And being somebody that has been in leadership for many years, I've had my heart broken because I had a human moment. I'm not perfect, but I tried. I think I'm nice, and I tried really hard to be good to people. And yet there have been times in my humanity where there has been someone that didn't see my heart. And that is really, really difficult, because leaders should be a form of shepherding. They should be a form of being a shepherd. You're not supposed to be a leader so you can be a dictator. You're supposed to be a leader so that you can cultivate and shepherd a group of people under a vision that has been divinely given to you. Well, the thing is, shepherds typically are out with the sheep, and the sheep run away, and the sheep this, but the sheep also bite. And so people don't mean to bite, but the sheep is only doing it out of a knee-jerk reaction. That shepherd will go to that great extent. You've seen the picture of Jesus carrying the lamb over his shoulders. Everybody goes, "Oh, that's so cute." Now, the reason that would happen is the shepherd would literally break the legs of the lamb. Now, please, I'm not breaking anybody's legs, but put that lamb over his shoulders so that the lamb would learn, or the sheep would learn, the scent of the master, of the shepherd, and come to trust it. Right. And then once that trust was created, typically then that sheep would not be biting, that sheep would not be running away, that sheep would have grown close through that scent, and would trust the shepherd. And I think in leadership, it's the same way. We need to see ourselves as leaders, as those shepherds, and then cultivate an atmosphere where that scent, that trust can be groomed and can be fashioned. And that then no matter what that shepherd is doing within reason, raising their voice, throwing their stick or whatever it is, right? That the sheep, those that are close, and that's not calling you or Jasbeen a sheep, but I think you guys are getting the visual, right?
Right.
Be able to say that, I don't care what the shepherd was doing. I trust him.
Right.
I trust him. Yeah. And I want to be close, and I'm not going to run away. All the rest of them are running away. I'm going to stay close. Jesus said, "My sheep hear my voice and they follow me." It's talking about a relationship. Yeah. And you have been that person that has stuck close to me, has followed my vision, and has been committed to it no matter what, gone the extra mile. And I want to make sure I highlight you, because you are definitely my Timothy, as well as Jasbeen, but you are the Timothy that sticks closer than a sister. How's that? Or closer than a sister. Thank you.
I love that. You are welcome. I love working with you. I have your vision. You have my heart. And you know that. Okay, so we have 3 for the next category. Emerging businesses of 2022. So one of them is one that I started. My husband and I have really taken it and just went. So we started 2022 as DMP Designs. We ended 22 as DMP Enterprises, because we just grew into so many other things. The other one is Igniting the Flame Publishing with Dr. Deborah Allen. And then the third one, and I don't even know if I'm going to say this right, Endo Transformation.
Yes.
And I'm going to let you say her name.
Mihn, and you're going to have to say
is
that.
It Mihn Vu?
Yeah, Mihn Vu. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so why don't you talk about that award and your honorees?
I would love to. Well, emerging businesses, people that have pressed through. Again, it's one thing to start a business. Mm-hmm. It's another thing to finish it, or to stay the course, right?
Right.
And because you know what, you can start, I have a business, but then you have to deal with the things that happen in the business, and you have to keep going and
Right.
keep pressing and staying true to your vision, right? No matter what is happening out here. It's like putting on those blinders, right? As Ian Harvey says, putting them on and not doing this, staying here.
Right.
And with all three of you, I've seen that. So I'll start with Mihn. Mihn, I met through Jon Talarico, servant leadership again. And I had the blessing and good fortune, the blessing to work alongside with Jon in a group coaching accelerator. So people were in the group coaching accelerator, and that they were creating a group coaching business. And that's where I met Mihn. And I was fascinated because she was helping women she has a particular niche, and that is women that are dealing with women issues. Okay. So without getting into all the details of that, women that are having fertility issues, women that might have been, had a miscarriage, that have been told that it's going to be hard for them to have children. Again, coming back to fertility. Now, beyond that, women going through menopause, having all the hormonal changes. She also works with couples where they might feel like they've lost a little bit of that spark. And on top of all of that, she is a very strong woman of faith. And she has such a heart for her people. So when she takes on a new client, a new patient, a new client, she really gets to know them, and she works with them and has an entire course set up for them. It's not just, random. She helps them from soup to nuts. And that's great right there. But she has testimonials of people that, woo, they're pregnant. Whoa, they're not taking any medication, and they're in that menopausal age. Oh, their emotions were all over the place. And now she has these testimonials, and then these beautiful stories, these wins of couples that, there was some lacking happening, right?
Right.
And now there's a new fire and fervor in their intimate relationship. And she does it with such class. There's no trash in there at all. It's all such class.
Nice.
And she brings the heartbeat back into all of those areas that, could have, kind of been on life support. She brings life back into it. And so that was kind of the foundation of what her coaching accelerator or coaching program was going to be all on, was this business that she already had. And I thought it was so unique because it wasn't just like transformation or this or that. She had this really awesome niche, as I like to call it, arena that she was working in. And she was getting clients and then walking them through to victory. It so impressed me. And her heart is absolutely to serve. So I'm excited for her. I'm excited to give her this award. And Miss Mihn, you are incredible. Continue to do all that you're doing. And as always, for all of our guests, the contact information is there so you can follow up with them. You want to reach out to Mihn. Did you have anything else you wanted to say there, Nichol, before I jump into our next business?
No, we are, you have been doing a Wholeness and Health on Purpose series, and we are going to get to have her on here in a couple weeks. So watch for that show, because it'll be coming out, as well as the book that you're going to be putting together. So I'm excited to learn more about her and what she does. So that'll be really exciting.
She'll be in the book too, by the way. So you're going to get a full taste of Mihn. The next one is Deborah. Apostle, Dr. Deborah, Dr. Apostle Deborah. Oh my goodness. What a Wonder Woman. What a powerhouse. And someone that I have I get to call friend. And we have done lots of visionary work together, over the last year or so. It's actually amazing the amount of things that Deborah and I have plowed through. But I remember when she first was talking about igniting the flame. and starting publishing. Her and I were chatting, and we were actually having a time of chatting and prayer. And I saw a vision. And so I'm going to get a little spiritual here for a moment. But in the vision, I saw her on this giant airplane, like a big old jet. And a lot of times those are symbolic of either ministry or business.
Right.
And the side door was open. So of course this vision is not literal, because if you were flying in a plane and the side door was open, you would not be standing in the doorway. But she was standing in the doorway, and books were in her hands, and she was just throwing them out. And so basically what I took that as is that this publishing company things were going to move fast, but it was going to go global, and that there was going to be this was bigger than she realized, because it was no little jet, no little plane. It wasn't some little single engine thing. This was big, and the type that you would take overseas. So I was excited, and I'm still excited, and it's been so much fun to watch that take form over the last year-ish that she's been working in it. And she has taken care of books that we have been visionaries together over. She has how many books that she has published independently from me, where she's helped other people, and journals that they've put out. You'll be able to talk to that and share on that in just a moment. I want you to give the lowdown on that. But also one of the biggest projects that was handed to her was the Greatness in You books with Jon and Les Brown. Les Brown and Jon Talarico were the visionaries of that. I was very blessed to be on the team of that, and also a featured author. But that was amazing, because we also made a run for the New York Times, which was a whole new thing to do, because none of us had done that. So Deborah's business, because of her work ethic, she just has, she's called to do it. She said yes. She shows up every day. She gives her all. I mean, this woman even was coming, was just not freshly out of surgery, but 24 hours out of surgery, and is taking care of business from her hospital bed, where she could have been passing it off, but and maybe she should have passed it off. But the fact is that this is how she is. So if you are her client, she is that committed to igniting your flame, to getting your story out there. And so, Apostle Deborah, my friend, it has been amazing to watch this just explode for you. And I know that it's even going to be greater in the year here that we're in 2023 and going forward. And you really have established a plumb line for others that are stepping into this industry. You have established a plumb line as to how to do it. And I'm just so grateful to be your friend. I'm so honored to be able to give you this award. You have earned it, my friend. Keep throwing those books out the proverbial airplane door. You're amazing.
Love it. I love it. Yes. And I have had the honor of partnering up with her in her publishing company. I help her do the project management for her anthologies, and the bulk of the books behind me, there's a few of them that DMP has done, but the bulk of them are all Ignited the Flame Publishing, if not as well as Tamika INC. So we've done a lot of books. This is all last year books, except for the one that was the December before. So we did a lot of books last year, Pamela. All right.
DNP. So Nichol, I have to just say this. When Nichol hooked up with me as my assistant, my prayer, because I was not at a place where there was like a whole lot of funds that I could give her, and she deserves millions upon millions. And so I said, Lord, utilize our relationship and our relationship, meaning Nichol's and mine, to bring her into places and spaces where her talents can be made known, and other people will see that and want to hire her, because I was not at a place where I could do that on a full-time basis. And truthfully, I'm so thankful, Nichol, for you, but there's so much that you have that needs to be shared with the world, and your husband too. So I'm so grateful that prayer is still being answered. And every time I see a new book, every time I reach out to you and you're like, I'm going on a call, and it's not with me, I'm like, see, it's happening. And so that again, when you want to be praying for somebody, pray for God to utilize your relationship with them to bring greatness into their life, because it does absolutely, God honors that. And so seeing you in your element has been so much fun for me, because I've had your element in years, whether it was through ministry of the church, whether it was through our events, because we've done a lot of events, whether it was just like I was going to do some type of study, or I was creating some new coaching thing and I needed artwork. I have benefited from all that you've done. When I started the podcast, it had no clue what I was doing, and you didn't have any clue of what I was doing, but we fumbled through it in the dark, and now we teach people how to do it. Yep. So it's so amazing. But watching how you just jumped in and you didn't have any fear about it, or that you communicated that you had it. You just jumped in. You're like, yeah, that's my specialty. I can do that. Yeah. Even if it maybe was something you hadn't done, you created an atmosphere around you of excellence, and you got the job done time after time after time. And so it's been fun to watch it go from you being a designer, right, and designing graphics or book covers or podcast, flyers or whatever, into project management. And that's a whole nother thing. Like that's not anything I want to touch. Not at all. My anointing is not there. I yield. So totally. And now book publishing, right? And you're so ready. And, you've had Apostle Deborah, you've worked alongside of, as her project manager. And so that is also, because I said she's been a leader in the industry and set that plumb line. You've been able to glean from that. And now here we are, DNP Enterprises, DNP Designs is like, what do you want? Podcast? Right. Great, I can help you. Radio show? Great, I can help you. TV show? Great, I can help you. Yeah. You need graphics, you need recording, you need editing? I can help you. You need a coach? I'll call Pamela. We'll get her involved in this. You need an editor? Got you covered. You need additional graphic artists? Got you covered. You need somebody to educate you on writing a bio? Got you covered. You want to write a book? Got you covered. Right. Whatever it is that you have need of, people can come to you and you can totally set it up. And the other thing that I just want to highlight and applaud you on is you have kept your prices very, very compatible, and you have kept them at a place where it is not difficult for a person who is just getting into these industries, whether it's podcasting, whether it is social media marketing, whether it is a book. You've kept it at a place where it is doable, and people aren't like thinking they have to go take out a loan on their home to have your services. And that is not always the case. Yeah. And yet, you do it, and if somebody's paying you a smaller amount of money, they're not getting a lesser amount of product. The product and service is par excellent. And so it's an honor to run along with you in DNP. And I'm excited to see what all happens. Oh my gosh, in 2023. So I just really wanted to take a moment and highlight you, because not only all that I am, when people, I always tell Nichol, make me look good. And she does.
My goal.
She does all of this behind the scenes and everything. And that is where she excels. And also, you have your own podcast now, and you also are thinking about writing in a book. Yay. So so many new things are happening for you. Just keep doing it. You well deserve this,
Thank you.
this award.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. And yeah, I was having a conversation yesterday about my prices, and I said, God and I have had conversations about those and had fights about those, and I listen to what he says even when I don't want to, because I don't feel like I can take advantage of people. So our next award is Excellence in Diversity.
Woo!
That is your co-funologist,
Yes.
Coach Kathy White,
Okay.
with her company Waffles. Oh Lord, here she goes.
I gotta do something fun.
Oh yeah, you do. That's
I'm
very
working
fun.
just
Y'all did a live the other day with crazy hair, so you know how fun they are. She's got two.
We like to have a lot of fun. I have this little
Another pair.
little bag here. That
Oh,
in
that's
here
cute.
I have all of these little. I got all kinds of. I'm kind of a lipstickaholic. So
Yes, you are.
I got lots. Usually multiple shades of red.
Yeah.
But I love this bag.
It's cute.
And Kathy, it reflects you, because this is how I see Kathy. Like, she is a funologist, like we do these crazy things together, but she surrounds herself with people who do not look like her. And that to me is a big deal, because you know my heart there, Nichol, is that I want to always surround myself with people that don't look like me, that don't have the same story as me. And that's what Kathy lives for. I've seen her emotional when she sees a people group that is being hurt, or that is feeling like they're being taken advantage of. I've seen her heart bleed for them, and not only bleed for them, but take action and stand with them. And of course, that is a huge part of my heart, right? I mean, you remember when our city was on fire, that's when we started the podcast, and it was to get people on to tell their stories, to try to help America heal again, right? And so that's Kathy. She's always looking for bridges to build them. She wants to see the world through your eyes so that she can learn, and so that she can then teach what other people are seeing, what other people are understanding, and then to try to build those bridges together. And she doesn't try, she builds them, so that we can unite as one. If Kathy White was president, and I'm not knocking who is president or who might be president, but if Kathy White was president of this great United States, we would be diversified but unified.
Yes.
We would be unidiversified. There's a phonologist new word.
Yeah.
That's what she would do to this nation. She'd get out a lasso and lasso us up and make us all be one.
Right.
And forgiving and understanding and educating. And she does it as, I call her Dr. Phonologist, because she is, you can't get around Kathy and not have fun. It's just the way she is. And that's why her and I get along so well together, because we're goofy and we're good with that. We're goofy. Her event, which I'm going to have you give a little plug for in a moment, Nichol, but her and I we have a special surprise for everybody, and we're going to be dressing up. All I'm going to say is Ethel and Lucy are on the way. And we're, we're excited about that, to actually to put on a little skit and be and just be silly and fun. But Kathy, you so deserve this diversity award, because it just comes out of every pore of who you are, to unite people, whether it is age, whether it is race, whether it is religion, whether it is gender, whatever it is, whether it is status. You are all about recognizing the differences. That's important. And then bringing unification as a whole. And I think I know who I'm voting for president next time. Kathy White.
Everybody vote Coach Kathy.
Vote Kathy.
I love that. Yes, we get to go. I mean, it is so close. It's only in a few weekends. February 24th and 25th, you and I are going to be in Utah with you. The event is only $50, which is crazy for a weekend event. Fall in love with yourself again. That just shows, that's another thing, you said about excellence and diversity and the way that she cares for people and unity, and her heart for that event is just people are hurting, period.
Right.
So if you haven't registered for the event, come see us in Utah. We're excited about that. And all that information will be in the links to the show. Let's do one more because we're running out of time. The Del Coronado Award. Did I say it right?
Del Coronado. It means the crown.
Okay. Operating in Excellence Award. We have 2 honorees. One of these women I work with very closely, Dr. Tamika Hall with Tamika INC. She is my beautiful editor and my friend. Y'all, this woman puts up with so much in her editing world. But other than being an editor and having an amazing editing team, this woman is a woman in ministry and has a counseling degree, and she is a powerhouse. If you don't know her, you've got to get to know her. Just the stuff she puts out on social media, I am constantly sharing because it speaks to me every day. And then your other award winner is Dr. Nora, I think it's Shariff-Borden. We got to know her, at least I got to know her through the Fa-La-La event and Dr. Angela, because she was how Angela got her doctorate. Right. And so we got to meet her, and she has a company as well. So talk a little bit about the 2 of them, and then we have to wrap up this show.
Okay, it sounds awesome. Well, I'll start with Dr. Nora. Dr. Nora, she doesn't let any grass grow under her. No. And so deserves this excellence award, or this Del Coronado, the crown. Because when I caught, because some things are taught, some things are caught. And what I caught in Dr. Nora's presence was she's always looking for the crown. She's always looking for the crown. Who can she put that crown on? What deserves a coronation ceremony? What can we highlight? How can I pull people together, especially women, and collaborate? And then, of course, being a strong woman of faith, to her, it is important that the Lord is brought into it, who is the King of Kings and has the biggest crown, right? Right. And everything is done with she's professional, loving, kind, generous, pretty amazing woman. And another thing about her that I was like, yep, she is the crown. She was in Mary Kay for years and years and years and years and years. Now, I have a good friend that's a Mary Kay director and has driven pink Cadillacs for like over 30 years. And so I know how much work it takes to be a director. Well, Dr. Nora went beyond that into the regional status. Wow. And then eventually, I want to say retired from that. It could have, I don't exactly know that transition, but I know that to be in the Mary Kay world and to climb that Mary Kay ladder, you do not get there by being selfish. No. And you do not get there by being lazy. No. You get there by shining up your crown and placing crowns on others. Yes. You get there by having that heart of excellence and that heart to impart to others. And that is what I experienced with Dr. Nora just at the event. Yeah. Then after the event, she's been like in communication with me and offering me to come and do these collaborations with her, turned me on to Voxer, which I didn't even know about. I mean, I had seen it. I didn't know anything about it. What a great program. There's a little plug for Voxer. If you guys aren't on it, you should get on it. Anyways, she has shown that this wasn't just the fancy outside that I saw at an event or at a graduation,
Right.
but that you peel back the layers and she looks the same.
Yes.
And she wants to pull especially leaders together, and especially women leaders together,
Mhm.
so we can be iron sharpening iron to each other and reach the world with
Right.
crowns. And so there's a hotel in Southern California that's called the Del Coronado. And actually a Marilyn Monroe film was filmed there, and Some Like It Hot, one of my favorites. And so when I get to Southern California, I go visit the Del Coronado. And it's so beautiful, and it's right on the beach. Anyways, it's an absolutely beautiful, fantastic hotel, and you have to go there sometime if you haven't been there. Stay there if you can. But everywhere there's crowns in this hotel. And if you go to the gift store, guess what? They have tons of crowns, and they're all so beautiful. You see, the Del Coronado is about that beauty of excellence. And that's Dr. Nora. So thank you, Dr. Nora. You so deserve this award. I'm looking forward to more crowning moments with you. So I am excited about that. Is there anything that you wanted to add?
The fun thing at your event that we did, and it was so fitting that you saw her that way, was we actually had crowns.
Yes.
For everyone. Here's mine. And you actually got to put one on her.
I did.
Before she took off that day. She didn't get to come up front because she had to leave early, but you got to make sure that you did that with her before she left. So how fitting was that?
That is so cool.
Yeah, so that's kind of cool. That's what I was thinking about when you were talking about it. But yeah, I'm excited to get to know her more this year as we get to work with her a little bit. But yes.
Awesome. And then Tamika, oh my gosh, Tamika, powerhouse. Yeah. Oh my gosh, she's amazing.
Yes.
Tamika, I have only glimpsed the tip of the iceberg of you. And that has been, number one, through all your editing excellence and grace. Oh my goodness. A few phenomenal phone conversations, but I have been watching you on social media. You rock, lady. Your devotionals that you write are amazing. And in fact, the devotional that I'm putting out with the legendary Don Leek, wow, we have used your devotional as part of a template for our own. I see you as a woman that gives 110% in any direction that you go. And I am getting to know how gifted and talented you are. And so to me, the crown, the Del Coronado, is something that you embody. Whether you are putting on a retreat, which I've been told your retreats sell out in like 24 hours. So girl, we need to talk, because my retreats don't usually, as of yet, take need a little more time than 24 hours. So I need to get next to you, and I need to rub up on you and get that anointing. Okay. That's powerful. But also just everything that you do, from your writing to your dancing to your hosting ceremonies, being, all these different things that you do. Mm-hmm. I just see you as embodying the crown. And then when I visit with you, it's like talking to my sister. It was never hard to ever have a conversation with you. There was never like that icebreaker moment. It was just like, hey, here we are. And another thing is, she's Dr. Tamika. And yet rarely do you hear her say, hey, that's doctor. And not that any of us need to.
Right.
But she could. And I want to honor you, Dr. Tamika, as we present this award to you. You embody the crown. You are the Del Coronado. So thank you, and you so deserve this. Appreciate you. Mwah.
Yes. And I can't say enough about Tamika. I don't remember what words you used, but she embodies patience. She embodies grace.
All of
She embodies mercy. This has been so fun to highlight.
It is.
Women, these men, we have so many more.
We have more to go, and we have the ambassadors, the purpose ambassadors to highlight as well. So thank you, Nichol, for being here. Thank you to all of you that are receiving the award. You are so worthy, and all of you straighten your crown, okay? You're here on purpose with a purpose, by design, not by default. So go on out there and continue to be the salt and the light everywhere you go. See you next time.